But we do have the R301 and the Volt in the care package, or it's not not the care package, in the crafter rotation, which is going to be definitely interesting. Poor Rogue is going to lose out on his R301, baby. But again, L-Star on the ground, 30-30 back on the ground as well. Very curious to see if I can play Conduit again. But if you can look already, you can kind of see the map changes are so interesting. I'm very curious to see, how the changes are going to affect Storm Point in the long run. It's kind of hard to show everything in a playtest just because of the time allotted, but showing as much as we possibly can is definitely the coolest. I think he's going to pick Conduit most likely. I see a Conduit in the future. See. Ooh, I get to play Conduit. Very, very cool. Conduit is actually so cool. I do see this character being meta. I realize I use the ultimate for no reason because, again, I think it deters third parties from coming in with the slow. And I did put shield on, but I don't know who I put it on originally. So definitely something we have to test out. I kind of want to go to a POI that I've never landed at before. I kind of want to show Devastated Coast. Again, Lightning Rod is definitely changed up on the top, the top right of the map. So much changes over there, which is very, very cool. Like I said before, a storm kind of came and changed the entire map. So the entire, I would say on the bottom right side of the map, got a huge, massive change. We have Coastal Camp, Echo IQ, HQ, not IQ, Echo HQ, Devastated Coast, which is going to be like that fish farms. And even one of the, if you can look at the vault, actually is broken. So there's a hole in it, which is super interesting, but I'm very curious on how we can loot this POI. It's sick. I'm trying it right now. I don't know. Alright, gonna try to... So it looks like it might have been less damage on the... I try to go ahead and test this out. Or... I get some teammate here. So you can't queue through the wall, which is interesting. Height is extremely important, it feels like. Try to back up a little bit. There's a lot of cover in fish farms, but not a lot of loot like there was in the past.
I think we should go there.
There was a lot of loot before, but now I do think that there is that's going to be very, very interesting in the late game. It's kind of like whoever has height just feels unpushable, and I'm very, very curious to see how that's going to play out. Let's try the new longbow out. There is, like I said, increased, I believe, bullet like size or something along those lines. We have a Havoc. So doing a little bit of damage, but now I'm going to take the height here. Again, this POI definitely seems very interesting with the height advantage. I can catch him with this Q down here. So the range of the Q is really big. Let's see if we can get the range here. Again, having height just seems very important. 1 HP. lot of damage down on that. So again, having the height in this POI just seems very insane. So now I'm going to go ahead and drop. I'm going to go ahead and hit my teammate with the Q here, which is nice. I'm trying to see if I can get over. So it does look like... So the ult does disappear when that happens. So that's very, very cool. Good to know. So that way it's not like one of those lingering caustic gases that kind of sit there and mess you up. I don't know if I saw that correctly, but I believe I hit him for a 77 headshot. If that's the case, the longbow is very, very, very strong. So that is going to be something very interesting. It definitely felt good with a 4x8, which we like. We like the 4x8. Zipline. Ooh, a double rainbow. This is the Volt that I was talking about. I'm not sure okay, so it doesn't have any like smart loot or anything. But it does have a lot of pills. Again, Conduit's ultimate is on a very, very long range, and you can kind of see, if I put it close, you can kind of see the bombs are very close together right here. So if somebody's in a tight spot, but if I use it in range, it's kind of almost like a cat wall where you can see the other little lines kind of spread out. You can kind of see them more clear right here. You can kind of see them spread out in a horizontal line, which I find to be very cool. It's like the length of a cat wall, kind of was mentioning before. Conduit as well, using my Q in that situation, giving a Q to my teammate, it may not seem very important, but in the off chance that there was an angle that the enemy team was taking, a third party in the distance, while he's popping, that shield, having that shield kind of kick over on him to make sure that he's 100% safe is kind of what Conduit's about, right? It's kind of like preemptively just using it so that way they don't, if they pop that Phoenix kit, they're not going to die. Okay, so that's an interesting audio cue. This sounds like a balloon. Kind of scared me for a second. So there is a res happening in the distance. Like I said, I mean, the map is just is honestly, the map is beautiful. It's a lot of loot. The echo, I definitely think they should change this audio sound. It just sounds like someone's flying in. It's kind of can mess with your senses a little bit. Echo HQ, definitely. Let me just see up here if there's anything if anything significant up here. So we do have a player beacon.
Looks like some people have been there.
All right, so player beacon is very, very cool. You can kind of see, again, the huge changes to fish farms. That's huge, huge, huge change. Lots of highs and lows, but tons of cover, tons of things to play. I could definitely see this competitively, the zone ending here, and there'll be a lot of teams alive. And it just kind of won't be what it used to be like in fish farms. Like if you got a building, you were safe, and then kind of everyone running out in the field. It kind of seems more balanced and very interesting. So I can't wait to see some competitive end games there. I'm curious to see if there's a jump pad still there. I know that rotation jump pad. I don't know if it's still there. Oh, so coastal camp, which I believe used to be the ship. This is the giant change here, almost like a completely new POI. You can see just how much of a change it really is. A little bit of the ship is in the back. A satellite. Get all your favorite television shows. Ha, you're so funny. I don't know what this stuff on the ground is. Looks like I'm going to run towards my teammates. So I am just continually getting this buff. The range doesn't seem to be an issue, but it's almost like this permanent double time in a sense. Which is very, very cool. I have just caught up to my teammates very quickly. Back up here. So I could have queued myself and been safe. So popping that battery, I could have given myself, but I decided to save my Q, which I think is kind of like the point, right? You want to save it for high intense situations when your teammates are healing or they're in danger, stuff like that. Using my ultimate ability here is kind of tough. I'm not sure the layout that I want to put it. I definitely think it's like a very high tier ability, and how to use it correctly, so that way you utilize its space.
Care package being delivered. Arrival over there. Wonder what the plane
This is another POI change. It used to be antenna. So maintaining height here. Don't know where they could be. I'm gonna use the conduit on myself. And I can pop a battery, and you can kind of see both of our shields regenerating. But as I'm popping this battery, I technically still have a purple. And being able to have a purple while I pop that battery is extremely important. Because if somebody were to third party, I would already be technically full shields. So I can actually cancel my battery and still fight without dropping a beat. I actually think that's extremely, extremely powerful. Now that I think about it, I think this legend might be the most viable in terms of team fighting. So it looks like I'm going to use my ult here. So that way it just puts a barricade. So if anybody tries to push in, kind of have a nice little barricade of defense set up. Even though they were kind of being gate kept right now. Gonna use my Q here. So I am taking storm damage. We are gonna pop a med kit here as well. So they use the enemy conduit to kind of get us out. They are breakable. They have a little too much HP, in my opinion. Sheila being used by the enemy team here. Definitely don't feel as strong. I have to make sure that I'm using it on the right team member here. I don't know if I use the Phoenix kit in the right time here, but we'll see. Being gate kept is not fun. I'm gonna flank. Try to get a flank here. Doing a lot of damage here. And wow, that Q ability, I think, did a lot for my teammate there. Which is very, very cool. You know, using that ability, giving me some extra shields, giving my teammate that protection while they were focusing him, I think did a lot. I'd have to go back in the video to see how much of a change that actually was. But that felt really good. Again, this POI seems very, very interesting. A lot to play, a lot to be around. I definitely like it a lot. So can't jump up there. Some nice little digi threat, some batteries here, some stuff. Last teams are fighting around the mountain. Now, I believe, yeah, antenna wrapping around. We have the launch pad. This used to be kind of, you know, people would play the wall, play the blue bins, have a lot of space. This rock and that, this area is very interesting as well. There's a huge wall there. It used to be just a giant open field. So it's very, very, very cool to see how that's going to play out. As you can see, kind of all this huge wall right here. And try to see, teams play that, you know, with a catalyst, with a Watson, even a conduit. It's going to be a very interesting. So, gave a Q to my teammate, which he's popping a battery and got the red, which is, again, very, very cool. We're going to try the bow one more time. Ooh. We're going to try the bow one more time. Mainly because they have a bow. and I'm feeling like I can do this. Super spread out here. So 88. Got the knock here. Playing Conduit, playing in the back. Passive. Gonna use my Conduit wall here. So if anyone pushes up on my team, I'm gonna try to see if I can find anybody. I probably should push this. Gonna give him a Q for my teammate just while he pops that battery. This makes sure that I'm full. So I'm gonna walk up here. Looks like I got hit by that. Move forward here. You can hear the audio pretty clearly as well. And there it is. GG's. GG's. So Conduit being a very, very strong support legend, allowing my teammates to stay in the fight. Allowing my teammates to stay in the fight, I think was, you know, giving them that security where they pop that battery, they can pop that cell, but also giving myself that shield so that way I can just kind of jump right into it. I think this is a character that you can practice and get really into to really be a strong support legend. I think this is going to be working out for zone comp. You know, even aggressively, I think this legend shows a lot of promise with that speed buff running towards our team members. The range of the Q was extremely long, that allowed to kind of give that shield to your teammates in danger. And again, it's a very, very strong safety net with this kit that just pretty much allows you to constantly be fighting and constantly being at full shields. And giving that security of when you're popping heals. I'm a giant fan of Conduit so far. I do think that it's going to take some time to master this legend. I think it's a legend that is not easily played. So we will see how that's going to work. But overall, huge W for the new legend Conduit. And again, the buffs and nerfs to the other legends as well, I think are going to be an interesting change for the game. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I hope you like and subscribe to the YouTubes. But also you can catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Noko. I am going to be multi-streaming on YouTube as well. So if you catch me on YouTube, that'll be very, very cool to meet all of my YouTube side that doesn't necessarily watch Twitch. But for the most part, thank you guys for hanging out. I'm going to try to put out some more content as much as possible. We do have some ranked guides in the future with this new upcoming season. There is tons of changes there that I'll be getting into with probably some shorts or in another video coming shortly. So really appreciate you guys for hanging out and for watching. And I hope you guys enjoy Season 19 and Conduit.